Are Christians allowed to have conflict within their homes? Is conflict godly? In this video, we will reveal that answer to you. And we will also reveal how to deal with this conflict and how to deal with the hurt that conflict causes. But first, let's settle this. Well, the person I just knocked out is a very energetic, very passionate, and very, very, very good singer. And none other than Eeden.
I believe in God, the Lord, the Almighty, who embraces the leper of society, gives sight to the blind with clay that is spitting, says, rise and walk, your sins are forgiven. I believe in Jesus, who frees us from all diseases, the one who came to teach us to love the neighbor thesis, the one who came to free us and redeem us of our sins. If you love Jesus, put your hands up in the air and sing.
That's how you settle it.
Hey, Shantae, how are you?
I think I'm good.
You
But
think?
after that, I think my ears are needing a little bit of recovery.
That's offensive.
We can settle this on Friday.
Friday at the Wimpy, 8
Don't be
p.m.
late.
Lebo's Pay.
Don't be late.
Oh, never.
But before we go into that fight, please make sure to like and subscribe so that we know if you are enjoying the content we're giving to you. So, first I have a question. You know, it's quite off topic. But what did you think about the pastor with boxing gloves on?
Well, as soon as he walks on the stage, I thought, oh, I hope he doesn't beat us up, you know?
I was like, who's he fighting?
The devil's on the stage there as well,
Oh,
you
he
know?
was like, bah, bah, giving some punches there.
Oh, Rocky style.
We just needed like a nice song in the background. But oh well,
Yeah.
it's fine. But yeah, he did punch a few topics though, you know? With first of them, he just explained to us what is conflict. Eeden, do you know what conflict is?
Well, conflict is when you have a disagreement with someone. It could
like
be
we just
physical. It could be physical. It could be because someone's annoying you. It can be because you don't agree with somebody. So conflict can be many things.
Okay, but let's see what Pastor Joseph defined it as.
Yes, I had the opportunity to minister to lots of families that were in trouble, especially with their conflict. And I found there was two issues that those families always struggled with. The one was they were not properly connected to the family of God. And then secondly, they didn't know how to fight at home. Right? Now,
See, they didn't know how to throw the punches. Yeah, it was definitely that. I think that's what Pastor Joseph wanted to do with it.
They couldn't release the punch.
Yeah, do you want me to punch you again?
No.
We will have real conflict. I'm joking. But yeah, so there's two things. They're not connected to the family of God,
No, absolutely
and
not.
they don't know how to fight. Maybe we should go teach them. I think I'll win.
I don't think so, eh? Hey, you punched me, I'm still standing, eh? But I
It
think,
wasn't hard.
but I think what he's saying is with the family of God is when God is at the center of your life and the center of your
Yes.
family, then you will have more of an agreement and you'll have less conflict because with God there's understanding.
I think that's true. I do think so. But, so, you remember our little fight because you were singing. Do you know how we should deal with it?
Wimpy.
Your solution can't always be wimpy.
Hey, you can solve a solution with food and coffee, you know?
Where did you hear about this wimpy coffee
I got
conflict?
it from Pastor Joseph. Where else would you want to get it from? The pastor says it should be true.
Wait, no. Let me just hear this. I don't believe you.
a week. Set a time. Say, we're going to go every Friday morning, 8 o'clock to the Wimpy.
You see?
And from
Okay, fine, you were right.
8 o'clock till 9 o'clock, that's where we're going to have our 1 hour conflict for the week. So if during the week something comes up and you say, you know, I want to rebuke them because they did something I don't like, then all you do, you just make a little note here in the back of your mind and you say, I'm going to be nice Because I'm not going to make a withdrawal right now, but
So basically, just waiting and just making a time to talk about this conflict. But I also think there's pros to this way of doing it, because then you have time to think about, was that really so bad? Should I actually be bringing this up, or is it just something I can forget about?
Yeah, because you see, the way that going to Wimpy works is you have whoever, whether it's your family, your friends, anybody, if you have conflict with them, if you sit down with them and you have a drink or whatever, it doesn't matter, then when you're sitting with them, you can communicate your problems without distraction.
Yeah, and also there's not going to be any shouting. Imagine all of these people shouting at each other in Wimpy. You did this and you did this.
But also, because you wait until the end of the week, just before the weekend, to do the conflict, you have time to think about it.
And you can also sort it out before you have your weekend.
That's true.
So that's nice. But okay, now we're here at Wimpy now. Now we're sitting there. How exactly do we go about this conflict? Do you know?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
say some of us, that's now a conflict problem. Some of us are sometimes late. Okay, so we don't write there Joseph is late, because then I feel attacked. So we can't do that. We have to write there. Some of the family members sometimes are late for dinner. Okay, how can we solve this problem? Then everybody can throw out creative ideas. What can we do? Maybe a reminder, or move that activity to
or
a different
punching
time,
someone.
make dinner 30 minutes later, whatever. Come up with an idea, a creative solution for the problem. Once we did that, then we say, okay, now, in 1 week from now, we're going to implement the solution, and then we're going to evaluate again and see how did it go.
Okay. So I'm not allowed to say Hagen was singing that song.
Or Shantae is punching people.
We just have to use someone.
Don't play the blame game, Shantae.
So yeah, someone was singing that annoying song again. But yeah, maybe we should think of some creative solutions to solve this. Maybe you're just not singing it. But I think that's some practical steps that you can use.
Yeah.
Because I think most of the time, if you use someone's name, they like, wait, no.
Yeah, 100%, because when you use someone's name, they feel attacked.
Yeah, then they immediately gonna start that conflict again.
If you say somebody, they know you're talking about them, but you didn't use their name.
Exactly. And then you can just sit and think of some ideas how you together and how you both agree with what you're gonna do going forward.
Yeah, 100%.
I like this. I think we should definitely try this.
Definitely.
Okay, but then there's one more thing that I don't really understand. Controlled conflict. Have you heard about that?
Well, when the sermon on Sunday, I heard quite a bit about it, but it's a very confusing topic. Shall we see what Pastor Joseph says about it?
Let's see.
So I've learned, instead of saying no conflict, we actually just have to have regular conflict, but controlled. Don't let it wait to that time when it wants to blow up and you feel you need to find a pastor. Then it's already too late. All right? What you actually want to do, you just want to regularly work on it. Just like you need to do maintenance on your house and you need to do maintenance on your relationship with the Lord, so you also want to do maintenance on your relationships.
Okay, that's quite a good explanation there. So instead of leaving it this whole month and I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, I'll get over it, we should talk about it weekly.
So what Pastor Joseph is saying is that we shouldn't let it build up inside, because when anger builds up, it gets worse and worse. Sure. So sort out the problem at hand, and then easy, issues solved.
You know, sometimes when you have these conflicts, you can hurt someone else. And no, I don't mean physically, but sometimes it could be. But even emotionally, just by maybe saying something, I don't know, that was already in the past, now you're bringing it up again, or you're saying it in this tone that someone's not liking. And I think it can hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
But there's ways to deal with this hurt. Do you want to find out?
Yeah, let's find out.
If you can deal with that physical pain that I caused you.
Last little thing I want to say before I close is in your family, people are going to do things that's hurtful. And if you're going to hold on to that, it's going to cause bitterness inside of you, and you're not going to solve that problem. So, just like someone can just write debt off and you can bring the bank balance back to 0, today, where you sit, if you think about your family member that really made so many withdrawals, you're so mad at them, their bank balance is already at minus 200. I want to ask you today to come before the Lord and say, Lord, you know what? I'm going to write off that minus 200. I want to bring it back to 0 again. I want to forgive my husband. I want to forgive my wife. I want to forgive my mom and dad. I want to forgive my children.
So
I want to ask you today if you would do that.
So just basically starting at 0 again.
Would you forgive all those people, Shante?
Yes. Because if you don't, I'm gonna be the bitter person. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be bitter. So yeah, what about you, Hagen? Will you forgive all that people?
Yeah, I'll forgive them, but sometimes the bank balance has to get back to 0, and it's not that easy because people have a hard time forgiving.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if somebody doesn't show you that they want to change, then it's not also easy to forgive people.
It's true.
But I think the hardest thing is to make it go back to 0, because if you live in the past, you can't live in the past. You have to be in the
because then you
times.
just keep on going back to that, and that is part of the hurt that causes conflict. Because now you're like, then, in 1999 when you said this, and it just brings up more hurt.
Forgive and forget. So do you forgive me for singing that song?
Yes. Do you forgive me for punching you?
Your points can go back to 0 now.
Thank you. Well, if you didn't understand what all these points and banks were about, make sure to go watch the sermon of this Sunday to find out a little bit more about that bank balance we were referring to. But that's it for recap. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned a little bit more about conflict. And then it's a knockout!
Ding, ding, ding! Was that better than before? I think it's good that we had to redo it.
That was good. Well done, Hagen.